This podcast is a proud member of the UUOP Network.
Welcome to Rush of Fear Podcast, where we chat all things Halloween Horror Nights, Universal Destinations and Experiences premiere scare event. Tonight, for episode 2 of season 6, we'll be opening up the history textbook once again to look back at Halloween Horror Nights 15, Tales of Terror. So now, let the mayhem begin.
What a rush of fear.
Well, hi. Good morning. Good afternoon. Whenever in the day you are listening to episode 2 of season 6. Woo! We did it. February, month 2. I am not alone tonight. I am with my dear friend, Kenneth.
Hey, we are here.
We are here. And unfortunately, Michelle could not be with us, but she is with us in spirit. Yeah. Awesome. Well, happy February. Happy Olympics.
Happy February.
Happy post Super Bowl. Trying to think of other things that have happened since we were last on together.
Happy Valentine's Eve.
True. Oh yeah. Oof. Ugh. Valentine's Day. I
Yeah.
don't know. The day after Valentine's Day is a great day because all the chocolate's on sale.
Hey, you have a Valentine though, so you know
That is true.
you-
That is true.
even if you don't do anything big, you're like, hey, we got each other. That's fun.
That's true. And our love language, I feel like, is just like little treats any time of the year. So Valentine's Day, I feel like we go hard for birthdays, but not so much Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so here we are. We're going to be talking about Halloween Horror Nights 2005. And this is a very exciting year for us to be talking about this morning because it was your first year attending the event as a guest. We finally made it. We reached the year.
I know. It took us a long time to get here, but we're finally here. We can read about things and say, I saw that. I remember this.
Yeah.
We'll see how much of it I really remember. I know I only did maybe like 4 or 5 of the houses. I mean, there might have been only 6 in anyway. So like,
True.
I know I can think of 3 that I did for sure. And then the rest of them, we'll see what I remember.
Fair. It was a long time ago.
You've been
through a lot of Halloween Horror Nights houses since then.
Yeah, I was like 14 or 15 at the time, depending on when during this season it was. I think I must have been 15 because back then it didn't start as early in the year. And I know we'll get to dates, so we'll see. I probably was 15 when I went, and now I'm 35. So
yeah. Starting now, you should tally the amount of houses that you've been through in total.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Not like runs, but just like, okay, so this year had 6 houses and I did 4. Okay, next year I did all 10. Yeah, see what that number is.
Just of running total of what houses I've done.
Yeah. I can only imagine what that number is going to be. Because once they started ramping up to 10 houses, they stuck with 10 houses until now. So yeah, that's a lot.
They've never dropped back down.
No.
But there were a few years in the beginning where I did not do every house. And some years in the middle, like right when I moved back from college and I would only go like one night. There's definitely houses I missed. So
right.
We'll see how it ends up.
Yeah.
Before we get into all that fun stuff, we just have a couple of housekeeping things for you. So there's the Rush of Fear Society. Membership is always available. That's just $5 a month or $50 for the entire year. And you'll get access to our bonus content feed, which includes movie watch-alongs, unedited episodes, Yap of Fear episodes, along with access to the Society Discord. The link can be found in the show notes of this episode or on our Instagram and Twitter accounts, which are at Rush of Fear Pod. So come join the fun. And if you could please leave a spooky rating and review on whatever podcast platform you are using, it would really help us out. And we'd love to hear from you, the listener.
Yeah. Be sure to check out Kenneth's band Pangolin everywhere you listen to music online. Follow them on social media at PangolinFL. Have anything to plug? Any upcoming shows, albums?
Yeah. The day this episode comes out, we are playing it tonight in Melbourne, Florida at Pineapples. That's a free show. So come on out if you're in Melbourne. A month from today, on March 13th, we're playing in Orlando at Stardust. I think that's like a $10 show. I love playing at Stardust. Stardust is super fun. And we're going to have new shirts, new merchandise designs, which we just ordered. I don't believe we'll have them in time for Melbourne, but if you come to Orlando Stardust March 13th, we'll have 2 new shirt designs, both of which are very, very good. And then we have another shirt design that I think we'll have for our April show, which I don't think is announced yet. But our show in April, we have a new design that is kind of specifically for that show. So,
Whoa.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Dang, that's so exciting. Oh, man. And Stardust is such a cool little space.
I love those. Yeah, playing shows there is super fun because it kind of feels like a house show. And yeah, really fun.
Oh, so cool. As always, be sure to check out our merch storefront at www.tpublic.com and search for Rush of Fear Podcast. You'll find our page and all of our products. I would just like to shout out my father-in-law, Scott Schlotteroff, who is repping a Rush of Fear t-shirt. And I just think it's so fun.
Like right now?
Not at this moment, but he owns one. My mother-in-law,
Okay.
Jen, bought a sticker for her water bottle and a t-shirt for Scott off of our storefront.
That's awesome.
So I would just like to say thank you. I hope you enjoy.
Representing over in Minnesota.
Yeah, all the way up here in Minnesota. Oh, goodness gracious.
Wow.
So silly.
Hey, for more general Universal Orlando Resort news, please check out our friends and UUOP Network hosts over at the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, wherever podcasts can be found. And check out our UUOP Network friends, the other podcasts on the network, like the Theme Park Duo, Port Key Passport, the Taste of Universal podcast, the unofficial Universal Great Britain podcast, my other show, Big Dumb Stuff, and a new show that just got added to the network, which is Theme Park Throwdown.
Woo woo.
So yeah. Now let's get into the episode.
Oh, yeah. All right. Halloween Horror Nights 15. Our tagline this year, not just another fairy tale. No one will live happily ever after. For its 15th year, Halloween Horror Nights did something quite remarkable. They invited guests to enter the world of Terra Cruentis, a dark and twisted place where evil lurks across the land. Ruling over this world was the Terra Queen, a vicious dictator that demanded payment in blood. Telling us the grisly tales of the Terra Queen and the strange world that she ruled was the storyteller. Just so many icons being introduced to us. I love it. Tales of Terror had a large and complex backstory tied into the event. While the storyteller was the face used for advertising, Islands of Adventure was transformed into the mythical land of Terra Cruentis. The storyteller merely acted as the person telling us the tales of the Terra Queen. The event tried extremely hard to immerse guests into the story by tying everything together, scare zones, houses, and even shows. They were all interconnected within the realm of Terra Cruentis. Take a shot every time I say the word Terra in this episode. Universal also made use of their website like never before, allowing guests to explore the world of Terra Cruentis before actually going there. The event took place in 2005 over 19 nights from September 30th through October 31st, once again beginning at 6:30 p.m. and ending either at midnight or 2 a.m. depending on the popularity of that evening. The price of a single night admission ticket rose to a whopping $59.79 plus tax. The frequent fear pass also made its return, but we were unable to find a price for that.
So I was 15 when I went because my birthday is September 28th. So this began after my birthday that year.
Very nice.
So I was 15 when I went. I very much remember Terra Cruentis and the Terra Queen. And I'll save any stories I have for if we get into more specifics on the zones and stuff. But yes, it was very cool. It was very cool, especially being so familiar as I already was with Islands of Adventure, and then seeing it kind of become this other thing of Terra Cruentis. It was really cool. And it's the kind of thing I was always fascinated with Halloween Horror Nights as a kid, even when I was still terrified and thought I would never want to go. Because we would, have annual passes and we'd be there during the day, and like all of the sets and stuff would be up and like have things covered up.
Yeah.
And I was always like looking at them like, whoa, look at this stuff. It's like, this is scary. And so then like as the night was ending and we'd be leaving and they'd be getting ready to turn it over to HHN, just like kind of looking at stuff and being like, oh, what are they going to do? What are they going to do in here? It's going to be so scary.
I love that. Because that's how I also found out about Halloween Horror Nights. It was the year of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it was like the big three slashers that year. And I was at the park with my dad, and all of the posters were up and all the Scare Zone pieces were up. And I did the exact same thing where I was like, what is this? And why are we not doing it? And then we never did it until I was in college.
Yeah. Okay. I just kind of peeked ahead at the houses because that's where we're headed to next. There are 7 houses at Halloween Horror Nights 15. And I'm trying to remember which of these. There's some of these I know that I didn't do. Mm-hmm. But then there's others where I'm like, I don't know if I did that. So, for example, this first one, I'm not sure if I did it. I don't really remember. This is Blood Ruins. Enter Soundstage 22, where evil and cruelty are the only survivors of this plague-ravaged medieval village where torture is a way of life and death your only escape. It sounds familiar, but I don't know if I did this because I feel like there was another similar house, maybe like Body Collectors with the plague doctors. They did one like that later on, so maybe I'm remembering that.
And there's not very many pictures from inside the house, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, let me go look at that.
Oh wait, yes there are. They keep hiding them from me. It kind of, the description sounds like that Scare Zone that we had recently with Sinister.
Torture Fair?
Yeah, but like more serious, less goofy. This is the more serious original. In
Blood
the photos,
Ruins.
which of course we will share when we drop this episode, it looks like a very old version of the Scare Zone, and like if you mix together Torture Fair and Blood Moon into a house. But in 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I did not do this house.
Sad. It looks awesome.
I feel like this would have really scared me.
Aw.
And I would remember this. Yeah, I see what you're saying with
the
Torture Fair meets Blood Moon. Yeah. It looks cool.
Yeah. I think it's one that if they did it nowadays would be a lot of our favorites. Because I feel like this is the kind of house that the three of us really enjoys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what a good logo.
Yeah, I have I have a yeah, it is really cool. It's like a what would you call that thing? Like a scythe?
Yeah.
Or it's like a oh no, it's like the end of an axe that an executioner would use to cut somebody's head off, I think.
Ooh.
Like that big
Yeah.
axe, you know? And it says blood ruins on it. That's pretty cool. And then on the background, it's like a brick wall with all the chains where people would be like chained up in a dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very, very good art. Unusually good for the time period, honestly.
Yeah. Big fan. Big fan.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to our next house, one that I know I did not do, the Body Collectors. They resided in the Jurassic Park Discovery Center. It's blood and gore galore in this industrial factory where processing human body parts is the business, and business appears to be good. Of course, we've seen the Body Collectors return. I really enjoyed their house in 2015, Reflections of the Past, right? Body Collectors, Reflections of the Past. Is that what that one was called? That one was so
I wasn't
good.
there.
Oh,
I
you
don't
didn't go
know.
that year.
No.
That one
That
was very
was
good.
Michelle's. That was Michelle's first year, wasn't it?
2015? Maybe.
No, maybe it was 25. Is that 2015?
That's that year.
Was it still matching
Yeah.
up? Yeah, then that was her first year, I think.
Okay.
Oh, so you guys might have done it.
Well, I know that I did that house, but this one, the original Body Collectors, I know I did not do. I know that the Body Collectors, people who watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, have always pointed out that they look very similar to the villains from the episode Hush. I've never seen it, but it's like a silent episode, I think. And this is back in the day when they would, you know, let's say borrow designs from things and just change the name. But this looks really cool. So like down on the back side of the Discovery Center where now the Velocicoaster entrance is, they set up like this stone archway that looks like the entrance to the Body Collectors factory, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. And the Body Collectors, like, creature design is actually pretty spooky.
Yeah.
They're unnerving to look at.
And what I enjoyed now, I think later on in the Body Collectors lore, it seems like in this iteration, this wasn't something that they did. But I know that the first time I saw the Body Collectors, it was actually that house I was just talking about with Plague Doctors. It was a Body Collectors in like World War I. And basically the Body Collectors would go on to be these harvesters of dead bodies, or they would go and kill people, but they would go to a place or a time and place where a lot of people are dying anyway. And so the number of deaths that the Body Collectors are causing isn't suspicious because there's already so much death happening around. So World War I is one of them. There was a Body Collectors scare zone in New York one year where they were using Jack the Ripper as cover for their crimes.
Whoa.
And so it seems like this first version, they did in 2000. Well, yeah, they haven't been back for now 10 years.
They should bring that back. That's so cool.
In that one, in Body Collectors Reflections of the Past, I'm almost certain that that's what that was called. If I'm wrong, I'm going to sound like a real fool. But in that one, there was like a horrible blizzard that comes down on Shady Brook Asylum. And so that's kind of the cover that they're using to go in and kill all these inmates and patients at Shady Brook. And make it look like the blizzard is what killed them. But that house was nuts. And 2015 or HHN 25 was a very cool year because every house that was like an original was either a like bringing back and combining old original stories into like mashups. So this was Shady Brook meets Body Collectors, or there was Run meets, what did Run meet? Run might have just been its own thing, just like a new interpretation of Run with Eddie. But yeah, Body Collectors, it's cool to see that this is where it started, that they were harvesting body parts in their own factory.
Yeah.
And this has kind of been one of those, recurring and I think pretty well liked original stories that, quote unquote original, other than think of them, stories that HHN has produced.
True. I feel like the Body Collectors are one that I hear people talk about often. So they must have made an impact. And yeah, I would love for that like kind of storyline to come back. It feels like Nightingales. It feels like that kind of storyline.
Yeah. It does.
Because didn't the Nightingales also have a house previous to the one in HHN 29 where it was like the Roman gladiators? But didn't they also have one that was World War I and they were dressed up as
maybe
like
that's what I'm thinking of now. I'm combining
on-field
things.
nurses? I mean, either way.
Dang it. You're right.
Oh no.
That is what it was.
Darn.
Everyone's all the big HHN history buffs are shouting at me throughout this episode.
I mean, listen,
I was
you've
15,
been going. You've been going since 2005. You've done a lot of houses. It makes sense.
Yeah, it's hard to keep it straight.
Yeah,
in my,
there's
in
only
my memory
so
there.
many storylines, so they're gonna have to start like overlapping and combining eventually. I was reading though, because in our original, like when we were learning about HHN 2005, it said that everything connected. So our lovely Halloween Horror Nights.fandom.com has a bit in each one of these houses and scare zones that describes the role of this storyline inside the bigger world of Terra Cruentis, which like, creative.
Well, let's hear it.
I am just always so impressed with you, but this is going above and beyond. Like, this is insane. So deep in the Gorewood Forest is the facility of the Body Collectors, where the corpses are turned into art, tools, weapons, and decorations. The collectors would also store various body parts in a warehouse. They would process the remains of any corpse they would get their hands on and drain out all of the blood. The Body Collectors are responsible for the creation of the handle of the Terra Throne blade, made from the bones of humans. Bum, bum, bum.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about Blood Ruins? What's the connection there?
Let me go back to that one real quick. Okay. Blood Ruins role in Terra Cruentis. The Blood Ruins, or Blood Abbey, was a distant village in the back of the Dragon Forge where demented monks would dwell. They would use the materials left over from the creation of the Terra Blade to create various torture devices and use them on those who have proven themselves unworthy of sacrifice to the Terra Queen. They would use the blood from the torture to give to the ore mongerers of the Tangle Root fire pits in order to temper the blade. There was also allegedly a plague that ravaged the village. The monks also made alcoholic beverages for the land, including bloodberry wine, Gorewood brandy, and Cruentis champagne.
Wow. Can you imagine having like a nice HHN bar where all these drinks are there?
So cool.
I want that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Sad
okay,
day.
Very cool. So let's go every time we go through one of these, I want to hear the connection.
For sure.
Here's a house I know I did. I remember this one vividly, moments of it at least. Cold Blind Terror inside Soundstage 20. Where can you turn when you find yourself in utter darkness? Who can you trust when you can't trust your own eyes? That's the whole description that we have here as like the little blurb. But I can go through some of my memories of this house because this was all, I think, almost similar to the Disorientorium from the last month's episode about 2004. So this one, I'm looking at the logo art and I remember this so well. This was all like illusion based, like messing with your eyes and making you unsure that what you see is real, you know? So for example, there's one room I really remember. And as I'm looking through this page on the wiki, it does say that this house was modeled after the Disorientorium from the year before and brought you through a total onslaught to your senses. The house was very disorienting and one of the only houses to have foam inside of it. It was also one of the first to crank up the air conditioning. I don't remember the foam. What I remember is a room that was all white. The walls, the floor, and all the furniture in it was all completely white.
What?
And then there were also people up against the walls with their heads turned to the side and their eyes closed, and they were all also white. And there was like a bunch of people in there, and it was one of those things where some of them are real and some of them are fake. And then at the other end of the room was a big like floodlight that would dim on and then turn off.
What?
And so then you're in a room that is all white, and now you've been blinded by this floodlight. And then when your eyesight came back, all these people that were up against the walls are now like in your face.
Ooh.
It was so cool. I remember that so well. Yeah. And I should say that this was my first year of HHN. I was terrified. I only went because my girlfriend at the time, I was in 9th grade. My girlfriend at the time was like, "Oh, we're going to go to Halloween Horror Nights." And I was like, okay, I guess so. I don't really want to, but I guess I'll go. And so we'll get to my first house when we get to it, but the first house, I like did not feel like I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to do it. So they went without me. They come out, they're all laughing. They're all like, "That was so cool. You have to do that. It was so cool. It's not that scary. It's really fun. You're going to love it." And I was like, okay, you all came out very confidently saying this is fun. Okay, I'll do it. Let's go. And so we go back through and do that same house they just did. They just go back in so I can do it with them. So like I was like, okay, yeah, this is cool. I'm still scared. So that first night, I think we only did 2 houses. Then I went back another night because I was like, I kind of want to go back again. Like that was cool. Aww. And I have other friends who want to go. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go again because there's a lot of things I didn't see. So I think that second night we also only did 2 houses, but one of those was the same first one because I was like, I remember this one. I know I liked this one, so let's do that one just to kind of like warm myself up, you know? And that's kind of why I don't remember, or I didn't do a lot of these houses because I was still very scared of it conceptually, even though I was kind of warming up to it.
Right.
I was still like, had to amp myself up, and I was a child. But Cold Blind Terror, I remember very well.
That's so fun. It is so cool that you have memory of this and now we get to hear about it. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Oh, love.
Yeah, we finally made it.
We did it.
Hey, how does Cold Blind Terror fit into the Terra Cruentis story?
Right. So It says a research team, probably the catalyst for the legendary truth, was investigating the other side of a pathway known as the Maldakin Pass. Sure. According to a notebook written by one of the researchers, it was theorized that the other side, in quotations, was the epicenter of terror, where the most basic and primeval elements of human fears coincided. The research team grabbed the necessary tools and headed off to a mountain in the North Hollow, which they dubbed CBT. And then it doesn't tell me what CBT is. Okay. All that was left.
Terror.
Oh, duh. Listen, I just woke up. Actively rolled out of bed.
Me too.
Okay, I suppose that makes sense. All that was left was an audio message where they mar their fates by the monsters or the queen, is anyone's guesses.
I feel like I also remember rooms in this house where you would walk on like plexiglass, and underneath the plexiglass were characters on like skateboards or something like that they were laying on, so they could like slide under your feet, and it was like all blacklit, so they were like glowing, like lit up under you. And then there was also a guy in makeup that kind of looked like the wrestler Sting, or kind of like almost like Kiss style makeup, like black and white face paint, and with long hair. And I remember this guy in all black clothes and white and black face paint with long black hair and black light, lighting in the room. So the white stuff on his face was lit up and glowing. And I remember him just kind of like stalking me through the room.
Ooh.
And yeah. And I think I was, in my memory of this, I was screaming the whole time as like if I overreact, then I don't know what my real reaction is. So I'll just over scream, and that way I'm not actually screaming. You know what I mean? I think that was my thought process. So I'm screaming as we walk through this hall and just like looking this guy just directly in the face and walking and just being like, ah, ah, ah! And not in like an exaggerated way where it seems like I'm mocking, but just kind of like just being over the top scared.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's what I remember of that house.
I love it.
Yeah. But this is one that I remember fondly. I do like this one.
It seems like an interesting concept. I don't know why they don't bring back more what's the word I'm looking for? Like illusions. I suppose there are like haunted houses are full of illusions because that's the art of a haunted house, but illusions in the way of like circusy, kind of really over exaggerated, over the top, like you're walking through a fun house.
Yeah, and I think it's because nowadays, like, they want more of a storyline built into the house.
Yeah.
And I feel like these illusion houses, like the Disorientorium and Cold Blind Terror, yes, a storyline can be kind of written for it, but when you're in the house, I feel like that story isn't really there.
True.
It's just something that has to be told to you, but like while you're waiting in line or on a website or something. And yeah, I think now they prefer to like make illusions part of a storyline rather than just have the illusion be the thing you're there to see. But I really like these kinds of houses, and I feel like Asylum in Wonderland in 2015 is like the closest we've gotten in recent memory to something like this, where it was all just very like weird. But it still, I think that's kind of what we'll get instead of this now is like,
True.
Oh, it's Alice in Wonderland is a really trippy story. We can fill that with a bunch of illusions and blacklight, like, stuff. And it makes sense in the story. So you can kind of have both.
Yeah, that's fair. And I'll accept that. I would love, because I didn't get to go through the Alice house, the most recent one. So I would love for us to maybe do another Alice in Wonderland house soon, maybe possibly. HHN, if you're listening, fairy tales are cool, and I think we've been without them recently, so we should do another one.
I like Asylum in Wonderland. And I mean, of course, I also loved Scary Tales, but I liked Asylum in Wonderland focusing on one fairy tale and just doing that instead of being a collection of different ones. So I would love to see just one classic fairy tale or, public domain story that everyone knows and say, okay, let's do this as a haunted house and make it really fun and twisted.
Yeah. Do it, HHN.
Okay, moving on to the next one. Next house.
Chicken? Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just chirping. I'm chirping at Halloween Horror Nights Creative. Hee hee.
What are you, chicken?
What are you, chicken?
Okay. Now, this next house, another one that I know I did. I think this was on my first night. This one is called Demon Cantina, and this could be found in the Carnage Warehouse. So the dead are living it up in this biker bar from hell, and when they ask you to join them, it's the end of the road for you. I know I did this one, but I don't remember it well. I remember it just feeling like you're in a biker bar, and it was tied into the scare zone that was out in Marvel Superhero Island. And I remember that more than I remember the house. But I know I did this house.
It looks so silly.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm looking at the page now. The logo looks like you would see it on the back of a leather jacket.
Yeah. It's a pretty sick logo, though. Not going to lie.
Yeah, it's like Harley Davidson at HHN.
Yeah.
Is what it looks like. Oh, it looks like it was loosely based on From Dusk Till Dawn. That makes sense, I think. I've never seen that movie, but I know, roughly what it's about.
I kind of like it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I see this. I see how it is Dusk Till Dawn inspired. Like this, the entrance of the facade was like this old Spanish looking, almost looks like a church.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, very much so.
Look at that Carnage Warehouse. I frequently think about the Carnage Warehouse and like what's it doing now? Is it okay? Can we go visit it? I want to know what's going on in there.
Where was that?
It was backstage. So the entrance to this house was like where the entrance to Dr. Doom's Fearfall is. It was somewhere back there. Oh. And so you would walk back behind that area and into a big warehouse behind Dr. Doom and Cafe 4.
Whoa.
And all that stuff. So you probably see it when you ride Dr. Doom if you're like facing away from the park. I'm sure that it's just right there. You can see it. But you just never think about the fact that that's what that is.
That there used to be multiple Halloween Horror Nights houses in that random building.
Yeah, that it's called the Carnage Warehouse because they built it so that they could put a haunted house in it. And now it's probably just like storage space or like
a break
workshops for fixing. Well, I feel like it's probably like a tech workshop for fixing broken things. That would be my guess. I don't know.
Yeah. How interesting.
Because in one of these pictures here, you can see the facade, and behind it is the Dr. Doom towers.
Oh, I love it.
Do you see that?
Which image is that?
It's like the second one on the first column.
Yes, I do see that. Oh, that's so silly. Wow. what were the queues like back then? Like, was it organized? Was it not organized?
They were very similar to how they are now.
Okay.
Like I remember waiting in line for Cold Blind Terror, which was back in one of the sound stages, and the queue setup was just like how they are now for the sound stages, just switchbacks in the parking lot, you know.
Fair.
So for something like this, I don't know. I feel like Doctor Doom would have been open during HHN, so I don't know where this queue would have been routed.
This website has all of the attractions. Let me double check. Yeah, Doctor Doom's Fearfall looks like it was open. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So many people. Well, I suppose the event wasn't as busy as it is now. Back then.
No.
Yeah. So it wouldn't have been.
It
It would
looks
have
like
been
there's-
too crazy.
It looks like there's a picture of a figure of a guy puking into a barrel.
Yes.
His mouth is just open, and it's like Charlie from Trick or Treat.
Trick or treat.
Just a guy with a backwards hat and long beard, just throwing up.
Silly. We love
Yeah.
using that one. And by we, I mean HHN Creative.
Yeah. It's a good trick. And
It is
it's
a good
funny.
trick. All right. Well, the role of the Demon Cantina in Terra Cruentis says, in the heart of the Iron Bone Forge stood a cantina where all of the Bone Chopper riders would get together to have a drink of bloodberry wine, a highly addictive liquor made from the bloodberry fruit. All right. They would drink the wine using goblets made from old Terra blades, and the cantina was ruled by demons and other creatures who would hunt any humans who were tempted to enter. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Goodness.
This one, the connection to Terra Cruentis was more obvious because it was like connected to the scare zone outside. Yeah. But yeah, that's a good one. All right, moving on to our next one. This is a house I did not do. I think there's only one more house that I did do. But this one in Thunder Falls Terrace is where you would have found the school. The children have taken over the school and found horrifying new ways to celebrate Halloween. That's not a jack-o'-lantern they're carving. I bet it's a head.
I bet it is too. Oh, spooky. Kids in a haunted house.
And the school is spelled SKOOL.
Oh yeah, no, this one's awful.
Are you looking at the pictures?
Yeah. Ew.
All right, let's see. I'm down here at the pictures now as well.
Evil ghost children, but not children, adults.
Yeah. It's the best. Look at them. I love that they would turn a restaurant into this. Thunder Falls Terrace.
I know. I wish there were more pictures of like the way the house was designed within the restaurant. Like, what was the path?
Yeah. It would be nice to see that.
Yeah. Oh, spooky.
One of these kids is reading Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Was that out in 2005? I don't think it was. This picture couldn't be from this year. I'm pretty sure in 2005, Goblet of Fire was the newest one. Or at the very least, Order of the Phoenix. No, that can't be right. 2005. No, it was Half-Blood Prince. Yes, it was out.
Half-Blood Prince book. It came out July 16th of 2005.
Okay, yeah. So this was new. That was a new book at the time. That's so funny.
New book. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Well,
Because the last book came out in 2007, right?
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
This is so silly. And the website, we haven't been talking a lot about the website because I don't know how we would. It seems so in-depth
Right.
and convoluted, and our episode, I think, would be 3 hours long if we talked about the website. But I do just like looking at the images from the website and just reminiscing on the old internet. With how crazy the internet is now. I'll post some of these pictures when I do like our episode posting, just because they are very interesting to see. But yeah, I love that they used to use the website to tell the story before the event started. That's so cool. Okay, so the role of the school in Terra Quentis says, located right next to the entrance to Gorewood Forest, the school is where the children of the various races living in Terra Quentis learn the ways of the land and how to properly obey and worship the Terra Queen. One of their favorite activities is the game of Dead Man's Wishes, a form of hide and seek that has the players trick people before killing them. Okay. Occasionally, the students of the school would overpower the teachers and take over the facility. The school children would recite the Pledge of Allegiance to the Queen every single day and would partake in activities such as Fowl Feast Friday, visitor burials, and last picnics.
Should we... I on the website right here is the Pledge of Allegiance to the Queen.
I think we should read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Hand over my heart.
Yep.
Hat off. Okay. Pledge obedience to the Queen and the earth from which she's born, from deep within the Gorewood root, from blood to stone, from iron torn. In this world of many a realm, there is but one blood crown to be worn. Swear obedience to our Queen, from blood to earth to iron born.
Oh, wow. I think the Blue Angels just like flew overhead. That was crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I wish that I remembered that so I could pledge that to her when she was in the scare zone a couple years ago.
Yeah.
For, what was it, HHN 30?
Yeah, like 30.2 when it came back. And man, it was such a cool scare zone design. And I think that's one of my biggest misses in the past couple of years is I think that scare zone.
What is?
That specific scare zone. Because I think it was going to be so cool. And then, of course, like COVID and everything, and we had to restrict stuff and lessen the amount of actors. And I'm sure they cut a bunch of stuff for budget, which makes sense. And I'm not like upset about it in that frame. I just think that would have been such a cool scare zone if we had seen it in its entirety. Because that
right,
set,
in its true unrestricted form.
Yeah, the set that she stood on was gorgeous. I just remember staring at it for a while because it looked so cool. The colors and the shape and just the way in which it was designed. Because I never got to see this. So this was my first introduction to the Gorewood Forest and the Terra Queen and all of her antics. Man.
Yeah.
Would have been pretty cool.
Okay, I'm really excited to talk about this next one. This is a house I also did not do, but if I had a time machine and I could go back and see one house that I missed, I think it would be this one.
Really?
Yes, and you'll see why.
Okay.
Poseidon's Fury was transformed into the Terror Mines. A darkened mine shaft leading to the underworld has created a first-of-its-kind experience where you control, or do you, the only source of light. So
cool.
This is a house that would take you through Poseidon's Fury through the path of that show. And the only source of light in this house was a miner's helmet that I think they would give it to like every 5 people. Like every 5th person would get it. And it was like RFID, triggered to control what the light would do, whether it would be just solidly on or flickering, or it would turn red. And that was the house.
That's so cool.
And that sounds, I remember hearing about that as a terrified 15-year-old, and I was like, there's no way in hell I would ever go in there. And now I hear about that, and I'm like, that sounds so cool.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I wish I had done that.
I'm so sad you missed that one.
I think it might have not. I might not have been back to Horror Nights if I did this one at the time. I think.
That's fair.
The house was very dark, and the only source of light in this house would come from a miner's helmet with a light on it given to every 5th person. I'm now reading, and it's confirming everything I thought I knew about this. The light on the helmet would randomly turn off and create a strobe effect. The water vortex in the actual ride was a room with various props on both sides. One room had treasure and a corpse trapped in a spider web. There were many mine shafts, some of which had the fire pit's symbol on it. Yeah, this is so cool. And I think it's the kind of thing that they would never be able to do again. Maybe it would be like an upcharge experience, but as just one of the houses, I don't think that this could work again in the current version of Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, which makes me so sad because this would be a 200-minute line every single day if we had it. Because people would be obsessed. What a fun. That is whimsy. That's whimsy in a Halloween Horror Nights event. That is so freaking cool. But yeah, the logistics of that nowadays would be absolutely insane. An upcharge, though, hey, Universal escape rooms would, hey, that'd be pretty cool. Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa. Like, it doesn't have to be this theme, but something to that nature would be awesome. The Terror Mines within Terra Cruentis was a mining system created by miners, shocking, of the Dragon Forge. It was said that these mines contained the abysmal deep, a vast power that fuels Terra Cruentis. While searching for minerals to aid in the process of creating the Terra Blade, they uncovered gnome rats. Nice. Gnome rats.
Yeah.
Ancient creatures who know more about the origins of Terra Cruentis than anyone else in the land. Ever since the miners encountered the gnome rats, they have been in constant battle. Bum, bum, bum.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. This is my time machine do with this. It's between this or Maximum Carnage. But I think this one feels more unique.
Yeah, I would have to say so. Man, I cannot wait to post these pictures and have you guys see what we're talking about if you didn't do this house. So cool.
Yeah. All right. And now, last but not least, the very first haunted house that I ever went through at Halloween Horror Nights. Soundstage 18 housed Where Evil Hides. Remember the worst fears of your imagination that lurked under the bed, in the closet, and under the stairs? They're back. This was the storyteller's house. This is where you would see her. And yeah, it is. The house was basically like a family home where all of your classic, boogeymen type of monsters and creatures were just hiding all around the house, under the bed, all over the place. That's kind of what it was. And yeah, so the experience, entering the house, guests would enter a child's bedroom where they would see a terrified little girl. A monster under the bed attacks guests, and guests then enter a room with a monster in the closet. Characters in this house also included werewolves, a vampire, I remember the vampire, a Michael Myers-esque slasher, demons, and ghouls. At one point, guests would go upstairs to the attic, where the storyteller herself would be seen holding a book. A man on a bed of nails also appeared. According to this, and then there's a link. I don't know what the link leads to. The order of scenes was as follows: facade, corridor, wolf bedroom, squared staircase with vampire, vampire attic, storyteller scene, basement, and garage finale.
Nice.
Yeah, that vampire I remember very distinctly. This is the first house I ever did.
Dang. And it was an icon house. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I remember the bed of nails from a commercial with the storyteller. I wonder if that was a commercial for this year or if it was a commercial for the anniversary year. But
yeah, I don't know.
I do remember seeing that. This is so cool. I feel like we haven't really talked about the storyteller. But I feel like if you watch the Travel Channel, is it the Travel? No, it might be. There is a fantastic multi-video docuseries on YouTube by one of the fantastic theme park YouTube channels. I think it might be Expedition.
Oh. I think it is Expedition.
Yeah, they go through the different eras of Halloween Horror Nights, per video, and the video for the icon years has so much amazing information about the creation of all of the different icons. And the storyteller one is my personal favorite. So if you, I'll link it on our YouTube, but
it's one of the weirdest ones. And it's also, I think, she's always felt like a little bit like the black sheep of the icons that we regularly see, like the Sweet 16 lineup of icons, or the 25 years lineup of icons. She's always in there, but she always feels like the least developed icon to me. And it's because it wasn't really in the event other than in this house. I think this is one of those classic examples where the marketing team and the art and design team had different ideas of what the event would be. So the art and design team said, okay, Terra Cruentus, the Terra Queen is our icon. That's what the event is. She's the face of the event. And then marketing was like, hey, we got this character. It's called the Storyteller. She's the face of the event. And then the design team is like, well, we didn't do that. She's not here.
Yeah.
The event isn't about her. And they're like, well, how about the event is the story she's telling? And they're like, I guess that's fine. But then when you were at Horror Nights this year, it really was like, oh, this is Terra Cruentus. This is the Terra Queen's year. But then the map has the storyteller on it. And the thing people remember is the storyteller, but she wasn't really there. She was only in this house, and the whole park was the Terra Queen. So to me, it's always been one of those interesting years of what you saw in the marketing and what you saw at the event were just completely not the same thing at all.
Huh. That sounds familiar and relatable and recent. What other R words
when
can I
you
come up
see
with?
the Terra Queen return, or like when they had in that HHN 30 when they were doing like reprints of retro shirts and they had a Terra Queen one, I was like, I want that because that's who that event really was.
Right.
Was the Terra Queen, not the storyteller. And it feels like only not until that HHN 30 house where we saw the silhouette of the storyteller becoming this like insect monster, where I was like, I didn't know she could do that. Like now they're starting to make her interesting, because before, what did she do? She was just an old lady who would read you stories. And like,
and she
I
was,
don't know what that,
right. And
what
she was
that is.
reading the story of the Terra Queen. Like, is she like the keeper of the tales of her? Like, you know, like that kind of vibe. I'm trying to think of a movie or a TV show where that is kind of the concept, but like, I don't like the first
it's like
idea
Princess
that came
Bride.
to my head. Yes. I thought Dragon Tales, and then I said that's not right.
So this year of HHN is like if the movie poster for The Princess Bride was Fred Savage's grandpa or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, he's on the DVD box, he's on the poster, and you're like, oh, cool, this movie about this guy. And then the whole movie is the story he's telling you, and he's barely in it.
Yeah.
And you're like, why is that the poster? That's what this year of HHN is.
I like it. That's so funny. What a good comparison.
But this house was really cool. This house. And I remember it somewhat vividly. I remember going up the stairs, and like the trap doors in the walls that like monsters would like swipe out of, you know, like they would open the little window and reach out and then close it again. And so when I went back for my second night, I was like, let's do this one because I remember this one. And it was cool. And I know where all the scares are going to be because I remember it. Like, I just have a good memory for that kind of thing. And so then going through it, it felt different than how I remembered. And at that time, I was like, can they move the walls from night to night? Because that didn't feel like the same house.
Yeah.
And I was convinced for a while. I was like, oh, yeah, every other night they like change the walls.
Can you imagine?
So, I don't know.
What a feat of engineering that would be.
But yeah, this one was like, I was like, oh, okay, this is fine. And then my next night, I was like, oh, I thought it would be fine, but this is different than I remember.
Not fine.
Yeah.
That's so...
That made me very nervous.
I'm trying to think of my very first Halloween Horror Nights house. Oh, yes. It was American Horror Story.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, because that was the one, my little sister, that was the 2017. So the second iteration.
Yeah, volume 1.
Yeah.
And was it the second one?
Yes, because I never saw the first one. This was the one that had
Asylum.
Yeah, this one didn't have the circus, I think.
Hotel.
Or maybe it did. I don't remember.
No, Hotel was in the first one.
Yeah. Yes, because I didn't see Hotel, but I saw the circus.
This was Roanoke and Asylum and Coven.
Yes, because I love Coven. It's so good. But my little sister watched all of the American Horror Stories specifically to go through this house. So we had to make sure it was first. And it was, I mean, that was a great first house. I really, really enjoyed it. Can't wait to talk about it in season 9, I think. Doing the math, I think that would be when we would get there. But, okay, so the storyteller and the role within Terra Quintus. So, Where Evil Hides was one of the 2 trials of fear, that's in quotations, beyond the portal of the Maldalkin, we're going to go with one of those, the pass, located in the North Hollow. These were used to determine who was worthy of sacrifice to the Terror Queen. This was also the only house where the storyteller herself actually appeared. She brought to life childhood fears such as the boogeyman, the man in the closet, the people under the stairs, and of course, the monster under the bed. The haunted house took place in the North Hollow household. The exterior of the household was a typical suburban house amidst a lightning storm. Before entering the house, it's also notable that this house was 2 stories. You can't face all your childhood fears without a trip to the attic. So you actually walked upstairs in this house.
Yeah. My memory says yes, and this
Wow.
also is saying yes.
That's crazy. I
wonder how the ADA
yeah
workaround was, or maybe that was not something that was enforced at the time.
Maybe. Interesting.
Was there an elevator in this house?
Right. And it doesn't really say.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing within the description of the haunted house says anything about ADA. So, yeah, I don't know. Hey, if you remember this house, let us know.
I remember going up the stairs and then in the open air to the side over the railing was a vampire. This is when I say I remember the vampire, because they had a vampire. I'm pretty sure he was flying, he was on a bungee.
Whoa.
Or zip line, and he was flying as you were going up the stairs past him. So it was crazy.
There is a picture. It's a promotional photo, and it will be in the Instagram post when we post this episode. There's a promotional photo of the attic scene with the lights on, and it looks like there are 2 vampires in the attic, and I can't tell if they're on a bungee or not, but there might have been another vampire in there. Oh, That's so cool. Man. What a neat house.
Man.
Okay. We should do an ad break.
I wish to go to South Korea.
Where can our vacation wizards take you? Just tap the port key at portkeyvacations.com and let the magic begin.
Oh, and welcome back from wherever the port key decided to take us today. We talked about our houses, love. Now we're going to move into the scare zones. So this year, there were 4 scare zones at HHN 15. Our first one was Blood Thunder Alley in Marvel Superhero Island. Not quite beast, not quite machine. Beware of the dark monstrosities who roar up and down the blood-splattered pathways of their smoky, thunderous lair. What?
Yeah. This zone, again, was tied into the Demon Cantina scare zone, or house. This was the chainsaw zone, and there was huge motorcycles driving around.
Whoa, yeah.
So this was your city aesthetic, kind of roaring engines all the time, all over the place kind of experience. I remember hanging out in this zone for a long time and watching, because there was just so much going on. It was cool. I also remember this was kind of one of the moments where I was like, oh, this is for fun. You know what I mean? The goal is not to destroy the lives of the people visiting this. They want us to be having fun and be in a safe and comfortable space, because what I saw was there was a woman in a wheelchair who was having like a full-blown panic attack. She was like really freaking out, so scared. And one of the characters saw that she was freaking out, and he was like, hey, it's okay. Like, we're not trying to hurt you. Like, it's all just, it's for fun type of thing.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what he was saying, but just the body language of it was like, hey, don't worry. Like, it's okay.
Aw.
And she was just terrified of the chainsaws. And then a character who didn't realize what was happening right nearby, like, started, scaring people with his chainsaw. And she freaked out again because, like, she was starting to calm down, but she wasn't fully there. And so when she heard that chainsaw, she freaked out again. And this character that was trying to comfort her went over to the guy with the chainsaw and like tapped him on the shoulder and was like, hey, cool it. Right. Not right now, because this lady's freaking out. She's so scared. Like, don't scare people with the chainsaw right here, right now.
Aww.
And so then that guy with the chainsaw came over and was like, hey, I'm sorry. Like, that was, I was just trying to scare some people, but like, I promise it's safe. And he like put his hand on the chainsaw blade and ran it to show her that like there's no chain on it.
Whoa.
So like it cannot cut you. And he was like, look, see, it's fine. Like, it's perfectly safe. There's no danger. Like, it's just for fun.
That's so nice.
And she was like, okay. And I watched this whole thing play out, and I was like, that's so cool that they care that much about like making sure people are having a good time, not like dying, freaking out,
Yeah.
And I do think that is a person by person type of thing. Like, I think there are some characters who don't care about that, and they're just like, I'm trying to get the biggest scare, whatever,
right.
Despite any like health concerns or whatever. But like, I think for the most part, people are hoping that the guests are having fun, and like being scared is fun in the right environment. And it can only be fun if you feel safe.
Right. Which is that's a very important like space to have at an event. And that's why I really like the fact that Horror Nights hasn't completely like invaded every single nook and cranny of Universal for the event. Like, there are spaces for people who really, really like going, but just need that little time away to like recharge and then go back out into the fun. Like, it's all for fun. It's all for fun.
Well, and that's what the shows are for. Like, that was definitely one of the big draws to me with Bill and Ted when I was still very scared of the event overall, but I would go anyway. I was like, well, at least Bill and Ted, like, I know I can get away from the scary atmosphere and like get some laughs in.
Yeah. And
then kind of recover from that like tense feeling I have when I'm like, oh, something scary is going to happen,
True. That is so. What if we're looking through these pictures in one of our future episodes and we like see you in the background of a photo? Have you ever seen those stories on the news where it's like, there's one that I very vividly remember, and it's a husband and wife, and it's a picture of the wife as a very young child at Walt Disney World. And in the background of her photo of Walt Disney World is her future husband as another small child on his vacation.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I wonder if it's like, what if we saw you?
I'm in the background of my friend Connor White. He does vlogs every now and then, and he did a vlog from HHN 2017, and I am in the background of one of his videos as a coordinator in Invasion. Yeah.
Whoa.
And we were all becoming friends.
Nice.
And he was like, I wonder if you're in the back of one of my videos. And we looked, and there I am.
Dang.
Yeah.
Such a small world. All right, well, our next scare zone is going to be over in Jurassic Park, and that was the Cemetery Mines scare zone. Strange creatures dart in and out of tunnels leading to mines deep into the underworld. What are they mining, and why is it better we don't find out?
I remember this zone. This was, I feel like there was a lot of these like little, I don't know what you would even call it. It was like a little cave, but made out of bushes. And inside of them were hiding these like big, almost like a big Muppet dog is the closest thing I can just like compare it to, or like a Chinese dragon, you know, like from those like parades. Like that's almost kind of what it looked like, the construction of the costume or the puppet. And so like there were these big monsters in these little hut caves around Jurassic Park, and they would like run out and like, you know, scare people. But like they wouldn't leave the little cave because just the head would pop out of this creature.
That's so interesting.
There's a specific Muppet, like I think it's a Sesame Street dog that I'm thinking of that I couldn't say what it is.
Like Miss Piggy's dog?
No, it's bigger. It's
that
like
weird white floppy.
No, the dog I'm thinking of is, I think it's two people in a costume. Like it's really big and its head is like huge and its face is like its own big puppet. I feel like it's like Big Bird's dog or something. But in the pictures of the zone here, I'm seeing, yeah, like people are squatted down like in frog pose, you know, wearing these crazy masks. And yeah, here's one of them hiding in the little hut, like mine shaft thing. But I don't think that's not what I remember seeing. Oh, here's a big face. I swear they were like
I now have to go
big
back.
Puppet monsters.
The faces of those creatures look, I think, similar to the faces of the creatures in the Terra Cruentus scare zone for HHN 30.
Oh yeah, I bet they were.
But I have to look back at pictures of that year to see if I'm actually correct or if I'm just pulling that out of my butt.
So man, was this literally just people? And in my memory, it was like a giant monster creature, and it was actually just like guys in masks.
That would be crazy.
It looks like that's what it was.
Yeah, it looks like they used, I'm going to send you this picture from my personal Flickr account and see. I can't tell if they're wearing the exact same mask or if it's just something that looks really, really similar for HHN 30. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised because they brought back a bunch of vintage outfits.
Oh yeah.
For that year because it was an anniversary year.
Yeah, it is. That's the same face.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's so cool. I love when they do that. Man, this scare zone actually looks pretty cool.
I feel like this is also the first time I experienced like the bean cans for a scare tactic, you know? Like you hear just like a little noise that isn't by itself scary, but because of where you are and how you're being attacked with it, it's so scary. And I remember, I think even then realizing like, that's little stupid sound. It was so scary. And like, listen to what it actually is. It's nothing.
Moving on to our next scare zone, we have fire pits, which was in the Lost Continent. Blazing bursts of hellfire light up the night as precious metals are pounded into weapons, shields, and body parts for the demonic warriors of the Terra Queen. Ooh.
This zone, I remember I guess they must have been demons. In my memory, they were like goblins. That's what they looked like to me. But I guess storyline, it makes more sense that they are demons. And they had big axes and shovels and like actual metal props, and they would scrape them on the ground to do the sparks and like
Whoa.
loud sound. That was really scary.
That's so cool.
And I was just like, the only way we can not get scared is if we're behind him instead of him being behind us. So we were kind of like conga line following one of those characters around with the big thing so that he wouldn't get us. Port of Entry and Lost Continent were the coolest areas to turn into zones because one, there's no IP they have to cover up. And you can do so much like fantasy stuff in Lost Continent. Just the setting, it just fits.
Yeah. And that ever since I was a kid and I started going to Universal, the Lost Continent and Merlinwood have always been my favorite, which I guess makes sense, like looking at the things that I enjoy now, because they're all just fantasy based. But there is something so special about the Lost Continent. And like, I'm devastated that it's eventually not going to be there anymore. And I understand why, but man, they did such a good job with those lands.
Yeah.
And I'm so sad. I'm so sad. But it is really cool that we have things like this to look back on and be like, man, it's so neat that they did that.
Yeah.
And they did it for multiple years. And it's a different theme every year, which is crazy because like there's only so much you can do, I think, with that style of like background props. Yeah, but they did a really good job every single time they used the Lost Continent. And this just looks awesome.
Doing HHN in IOA is just so unsustainable because the areas have too specific of a look.
Yeah.
And Universal Studios is a backlot and is meant to be transformed into whatever it needs to be. It feels more blank slate, you know? So like it's really what that park was built to be, is transformed into whatever the production needs it to be. It's a backlot, you know? And I think people forget that sometimes, that like, and this is my argument when people are complaining about the Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift going in New York. And I'm like, you know that the New York section of Universal Studios is not meant to be like immerse you in that you're actually in New York, right? Like it's a backlot. It's a set that looks like New York. The Mummy ride has nothing to do with New York. You're on the production set of a Mummy movie. That theoretically would make more sense in a Hollywood area too. The whole park is Hollywood. It's a backlot. Everything is movies.
Yeah.
Like it's just whatever you need it to be. So that's why it's like Halloween Horror Nights just succeeds better in this park or in studios, because like, yeah, you can put anything you want. Like, or like, it's not as limiting. Mm-hmm. It's not as limiting the starting point, you know? It's like, okay, cool. It's a street. Anything can happen on a street, you know?
Yeah. And I think too, because the studios park has always had some sort of moving vehicle throughout the streets, whether it was the original, which did not last very long, but the original like tram tour that went through studios into all the parades, there's just so much more space in the studios park for there to be props in the streets, scare actors in the streets, and also giant amount of crowds in the streets. Whereas Islands, I mean, you go to Islands on a normal park day and you're like, oh, excuse me, sorry. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry. Hi, I'm just gonna, oh, sorry. And you're like bumping into a million people on just a normal park day, no special event, because everything is just so narrow and very well themed, but it does definitely take away from the walking space and the amount of space for there to be a very large crowd and where Horror Nights is today, like the popularity of it, and also big set pieces, and also queues for houses and food and drinks, and also scare actors and keeping them safe. Like, it's not, like you said, it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well. It is what it is. They're doing so many cool things now that, like, I don't think it's necessary. They're upgrading and they're plussing HHN with the space they have.
Yeah.
They don't need to.
You know, it's fun.
They don't need to go to a different park. Not yet.
So when Epic opened, I think I made the claim that Epic, when annual passes are available for Epic Universe, that will be Universal's Epcot, in that it's the park where people will go just to like hang around, get food, do a ride or two, but you're more there for the vibes than you are for like a park day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And while I do think that's true, I also think Studios is Universal's Epcot in that it's the event park. You know, that's the blank slate park where you do your events there to bring people in, because when there isn't an event there, it kind of is like not as interesting as Islands of Adventure or Epic Universe are. You know, like those parks to me are like so you know, they transport you to other places and other worlds and other, you know, realities. Whereas Studios is just like, we're here in cityscapes. And so like we have to fill that space with events.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And I agree with you too that everything at Studios is supposed to blend into the background. Like, if you're going to dress up the streets, the New York aspect is going to start to kind of go away.
Yeah.
That's a backlot. Just ride the tram tour at Hollywood.
Yeah. Or, okay,
you know,
there's a Beethoven direct-to-video movie called Beethoven's Big Break that was filmed at Universal Studios Florida and like all over the resort, but primarily in Studios. And they use the Studios areas like the backlot as a backlot. And I was showing that movie to some friends and they were like, it's just the park. They didn't even try to hide the fact that it's the park. And I was like, yeah, but the park is a backlot. Like that's you don't have to
that's the
you
point.
Don't have to hide it. It looks like that so that you can film on it. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like you and I as like film people, like that is something that is very normal for us to think about. Whereas others, you know, aren't so cinematically inclined. So like that's not something that would click for them.
Also, it was people who are also very, very familiar with the park. And so like when we see any inch of Universal Studios Florida on camera, we're like, hey, that's Universal. Most people watching this will not recognize that. It doesn't look like a theme park to them. It looks like City Street. Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a backlot.
That's true. It is just City Street.
Yeah.
Hey, good job, Universal. You did it. Watching the Super Bowl commercials, I was like, I don't think I saw any, but I have in years past. But I'm always looking, I'm like, oh, was that filmed at Studios? Was that filmed at Hollywood? Is that the side street where the Blues Brothers perform, where they film most of our commercials? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
I have my little detective goggles on.
And it's something I don't recognize it as quickly because I'm not expecting to see it. But now, like, if I'm watching shows and movies and I've toured, the Universal and Warner Brothers lots in Hollywood, and we'll be watching and we're like, oh, that's Warner Brothers. That's the Warner Brothers backlot. I know that. I know that street. I've been there. But like, and because that's what you think you're looking for. But when I see Studios Florida on camera, I'm like, what backlot is that? Oh, that's my house. That's that's my park. Okay.
Wait a minute. I live there.
Yeah.
I've eaten beans with cornbread on those steps right there.
Exactly. Yeah. The other night at Mardi Gras, I was sitting on the chewy.com steps.
Yeah. What a weird life we lead. Isn't that so silly?
Yeah.
Like we were watching the Super Bowl and the Universal commercial came on, and Lindsay sitting next to me on the couch just goes, "Hey, wait a minute. I opened that theme park." And we were all just kind of like, "Yeah, you did." Like, isn't that a crazy thing that you got to experience? What a weird thing.
Sometimes
That's so cool.
If I see a really good commercial for Universal, a place that I'm at every week, I'll watch a commercial and see it and be like, that place looks pretty good. We should go there. You just turn to Kyle, hey, do you want to book a vacation to Florida? Should we go to Universal Studios? It looks really cool. We were there yesterday. I'm sure we'll be there tomorrow.
Hop in the car.
Yeah.
You're so close to Universal. Your car, I feel like, could just be a Flintstones car, and you guys would get there in 5 minutes.
Hey, I'm biking around nowadays, and it does take me about like 25 minutes to bike to Original Studios.
Hey, that's not bad.
No,
though.
It's like right there. It's right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dang. Oh my goodness. Well. Okay, let's talk about this next scare zone, because we do have our Bill and Ted show to get to, and I feel like that's going to take up a bunch of time. We're going to have to start as the house amounts and scare zone amounts increase. I feel like we're going to have to start splitting our history episodes into houses, part 1, and then scare zones and shows.
Maybe.
Because there's going to be too much to talk about.
Maybe. Well, also, Big Dumb Stuff put out a 4-hour and 20-minute episode a few weeks ago about eating at City Walk restaurants. So, you can just put out long episodes.
Oh, my gosh. That's incredible.
Steak Night, a celebration, a month-long celebration of food and friendship. It is 4 hours and 20 minutes. It is our most listened episode.
Oh my gosh.
It quickly.
That is incredible.
Quickly skyrocketed to be our number 1 episode. I don't understand how or why. I'm like, why are people listening to this? It was an episode that as we were doing it, I was like, who's going to care about this? Nobody's going to care about this. It is our top episode. And we had the thought of like, are we going to have
audience?
I was like, are we going to have to split this into 2 episodes? But then we also thought, if we do that, no one will listen to the second part. They're going to listen to the first part and be like, what the heck is this? I don't know what this is. I don't care. And then we're like, oh, wrong. We made it the longest episode ever, and everyone listens to it.
Oops.
And like, it's the number 1 episode. Oops. Okay.
Oopsie. But also, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so our last scare zone is going to be over in the port of entry, and this was the Terra Guard Run. The ghouls, goons, and monstrous brutes who populate this strange world get their first look at the hapless victims who are about to enter their domain.
Yes.
I was briefly peeking at the photos of this scare zone, and it looks like the design for the stilt walkers are the same design or similar design to the stilt walkers that were in our scare zone in HHN 30, which is another cool little tidbit.
I remember, because you asked me if I had pictures from this zone.
Yes.
Or from this year, and I don't really have any online, but I know that I had a picture that we bought as a magnet that was on my refrigerator for many years. I wonder if it's still on my parents' refrigerator, honestly. But if you look in the pictures, down towards the bottom, there's a stilt walker that has like big demon wings. I have a picture of me and my 9th grade girlfriend with that stilt walker that was a magnet on my refrigerator for many years.
And I am looking at a picture of that stilt walker right now.
Yeah, there he is.
That's so cool.
So that was really the only picture that I might have had, is with that big demon wing guy.
And the Terror Queen is riding around on her insane motorcycle that has like a crazy wolf face attached to it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That belongs in a museum. I want to see that. I don't think that's at Horror Unleashed, which is essentially now a Horror Nights museum. But man, it should be. Yeah, like this there's a picture down here of some girl in a white shirt with that big demon stilt walker. And I have that same picture with that same guy that
is so cool.
My 9th grade girlfriend's mom bought as a souvenir. She was like, "Hey, you want this as a magnet?" I was like, okay.
Sure, why not?
The main thing I remember of this zone, one, outside the turnstiles to enter the park, the music loop was not really music. It was a heartbeat that was very intense.
Whoa.
Yeah, really got me nervous to go in.
That's so cool. Universal. Do that again.
Yeah, it really sets the stage in a cool way of heartbeat.
Wait, okay. Pause for just a second. Are you watching The Pit?
No.
On HBO Max?
No.
Oh, okay. So The Pit is an amazing TV show. It's a medical TV show, but it's not your like Grey's Anatomy medical TV show. It is very specifically set where every episode is 1 hour of a work shift for the ER at Pittsburgh Medical, right?
Oh.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And it is like there's a little drama thrown in, but it's very much just like it's your workday. It is the workday for nurses and doctors and all of these different specialties. But whenever they have scenes where, you know, the ambulance rolls up and the guy has like a gunshot wound and he's bleeding out and they have to roll him into not just one of the beds in the ER, but like the actual like trauma center in the ER, in the background of the show is a heartbeat. And Lindsay and I didn't notice it in season 1 when we first watched it, but then we rewatched season 1 to get ready for season 2, which is actively premiering now. And in the very first episode, we were like, do you hear a heartbeat? Because we noticed ourselves like sitting up more and leaning closer to the television during the scenes where they're doing all of this crazy medical like trauma ER stuff. And it's because of that heartbeat sound in the background. It's supposed to elevate your senses and make you feel like you should be paying more attention because there is something actively like happening in this moment. So it's so interesting that Horror Nights did that at the turnstiles. Cause like, I'm sure for the people who were standing at the turnstiles for quite a while before the event started, like they most likely started playing that BGM about 20, 30 minutes before the event, right? So it's just this mass of people outside the turnstiles with this now heightened sense of, oh, like something is about to happen.
Yeah.
And it's all because of the sound effect that they're playing in the background. That is so That's genius. Sorry, I just had to nerd out about that real quick because I just think that's such a cool use of sound design.
Yeah.
And it's something that like you would not be able to pick out right away if you were just like watching something for the first time that had that effect, or like in an area that had it. It would take a while for you to notice, like, why is my heart rate actually kind of high right now? And it's all because of the sound they're playing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, silly me.
Another thing I remember from this zone is the Terra Queen's sacrifices. So down at the end of the runway of Port of Entry, as you get to the fork where you must make a right or a left, there was a big stage. And on that stage, they had the Terra Queen, and very similar to what they did in 30, right? But it was much more grand, a big centerpiece. And the Terra Queen and her guard on their motorcycles would ride up through the area up to the stage, and then her guards would go and get a person from the audience to bring up on stage and sacrifice. And I was 15, never been to anything like this before. I was falling for every trick. I was like, oh my God, that guy, like, they could have picked me, you know?
Yeah.
And the guy's like
gosh.
being stupid, you know, he's like, look at me, I'm up on stage. And he like lifts up his shirt to like flashes at the audience and everything. He's like being all obnoxious and stupid and annoying. And then they tie his hands and like hang him up a little bit from his wrists, and they cut his tongue out. And
and you were like, oh my God.
Well, at that point is when I was like, oh, he's an actor. Okay. But before that, I was like, oh my God, they put a guy up on the stage and tied him up. And then they killed him. And I was like, oh, okay. That's still really cool. I was like freaked out for a little bit there.
That's so fun.
So yeah, that was imagine that's your introduction to Halloween Horror Nights for the first time. You walk in and immediately they're like picking people out of the crowd to kill on stage. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
So cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Man. We used to be a proper country.
Yeah.
We used to be able to have sacrifices in the middle of a Halloween Horror Nights event.
Yeah. What happened to us, huh?
King Julian, am I a sacrifice? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's move on to our shows. I think it's time.
It's time to
It is time.
discuss the shows of Halloween Horror Nights 15. First up, of course, is you know what? I'm first. I'm going to talk about Terra Throne first. I'm going to go out of order from what's in the script because I was already talking about it. I think this is exactly what I was talking about. The Terra Throne in Port of Entry. Under the watchful eye of the hideous Terra Queen, unsuspecting onlookers become unwilling participants in a fiery sacrificial ritual at the Gorewood Tree altar. So let me go and find our breakdown of this show, which I think I just described.
Very well, because you saw it with your own eyes.
Yeah.
Which is great.
So, writhing in their chains and hanging from the gnarled branches of the towering Gorewood tree, those deemed pure of heart twitch and twist in their final throes. Flames at their backs, a vat of blood filling at their feet. Under the watchful eye of the Terra Queen herself, the creature Eelmouth directs the fiery ritual de blood, a non-stop sacrificial ceremony in the Queen's honor.
Wait, Eelmouth?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
That's the guy that the Terror Queen was killing in HHN 30 on the small stage.
That's her guy. So that was like a continuation.
Whoa. Yeah, something must have happened, and now she's killing him.
Yeah.
Ooh,
okay,
more.
So yeah, you can see here pictures of the show, and they have a guest, a girl in this case, or is that a guy? No, it's a girl, hanging from her wrists, and they're cutting her arms. It looks like they're stabbing her in the belly with a huge knife.
Yikes.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Sick.
I mean, I guess they do still mutilate and kill people up on stage. Like they did that in Torture Fair. They still do it. I was about to say, I miss when they used to do this, but they still do. It just doesn't seem as much of a spectacle as it used to be.
Yeah, that's fair. God, that stage looks so cool.
Yeah, these pictures of like the same scene playing out later in the day though, so there's like flames behind them. So cool.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, the Gorewood
so
tree.
Neat.
They used to go so all out with the like entryways, and that's what we miss. That's what we want to see again.
Yes. I know we haven't gotten to it yet, but it's one of my favorite images of any Halloween Horror Nights year ever. But it's the year that they did the box office at the arches.
Yeah.
That you had to walk through.
2009.
That's so cool. Oh,
yeah.
We're so close. That's so exciting.
Yeah. Okay, but now that one is more of like a street experience show. But now we're going to the Toon Lagoon Amphitheater to experience Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure. So reading the blurb from our script, Bill and Ted return for a most excellent adventure with the famous and infamous from pop culture. You could really just copy and paste that into any year.
I think that is.
Yeah. So this is, of course, the first time I saw the show. I saw this in person. I heard so much about it. And then I said, wow, finally I get to see Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure. Before we get to the actual show, I want to see how this has a role in Terra Cruentis. So in the South Hollow, many fools and jesters would put on shows to entertain the citizens of Terra Cruentis. Bill and Ted were invited to do a show in the South Hollow Amphitheater for every night during the season of The Queen in 2005. Okay. If you say so.
That is so goofy.
All right. And this is a long, long description of the show, this overview. So let's get right to it. Okay. So the show's opening act features the desperate housewives arriving to see the performance. They banter with each other about their outfits, followed by their disappointment in seeing a theme park show at this point in their lives. After lamenting about their high school days, a musical performance featuring students dancing to Smokin' in the Boys' Room by Motley Crue plays. This is not the opening I remember, actually.
Ooh.
The one... here it comes. Okay, never mind. So after the usual We Will Rock You song cue, the narrator of The Dukes of Hazzard begins telling the story of the show. Willy Wonka has opened up a new chocolate factory in Hazard County and sent out golden tickets to numerous famous characters. The first of the guests to arrive is Peter Griffin and his son Stewie, portrayed as a ventriloquist puppet, stepping out of Bill and Ted's phone booth. It is quickly revealed that Peter stole the booth, as stated by Stewie. Breaking the fourth wall, Peter explains to Stewie that every year at Halloween Horror Nights, the iconic Bill and Ted host a show that always ends with everyone dancing for no reason. Another thing I remember is that there's a joke that was in the show where I don't remember what leads to this, but Stewie's like, "Well, you're the one with your hand up my ass, Jim Henson." Because Stewie is a puppet in the show.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just then, Bill and Ted arrive on stage in the General Lee, the car from the Dukes of Hazzard. They are also present for the visit to Wonka's factory and are joined by Daisy Duke and Uncle Jesse, who were also invited. The duo also find their phone booth, but Peter tries to avoid trouble by claiming that Stewie stole it. Daisy then flirts with Stewie. Uncle Jesse tries to eat some giant shrooms, and the narrator startles the characters. Finally, Fat Albert, the last guest, shows up and dances with his date, Lil' Kim. With everyone gathered, Willy Wonka enters to introduce himself and hint at the fun adventures they will have, which are gay euphemisms, much to Stewie's delight.
All right.
After everyone turns in their golden tickets, Willy Wonka reveals that their tour is a trap. He bows down to his dark master, who is Emperor Palpatine. The Emperor and Wonka, known as Darth Gobstopper, created a doomsday machine, the Death Bar Easy Bake Oven, that produces a dark chocolate bar infested with the dark side of the Force and a dash of coconut. Whoever eats it will gain immense power and become one with the dark side. In an attempt to save Ted from death, Bill eats the chocolate and becomes Darth Bogus. However, Lord Vader / Anakin Skywalker gets antsy because he was promised to be the chosen one. In a fit of rage, Anakin runs off and accidentally gets sliced and burned in Wonka's cookie cutting room.
Oops.
Yep. With Darth Bogus as part of the team, Palpatine summons more villains of pop culture, including Scarecrow from Batman Begins, Samara from The Ring, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Being too fat to die, Fat Albert pleads for his life to Wonka and is offered his candy dynamite, which is made of Coca-Cola and Pop Rocks. However, Napoleon Dynamite emerges from the crate and prepares his iconic dance number. To the tune of I Like to Move It, covered by King Julian from Madagascar, everyone starts to dance. Impressed with his dance moves, Lil' Kim offers to have sex with Napoleon, to which he agrees. They both say yes with the iconic delivery from the Napoleon Dynamite film. Yes! Which I watched last night, actually, Napoleon Dynamite. Fantastic. Holds up.
Dang.
Palpatine then orders for everyone to be wiped out, to which Fat Albert utters, uh-oh. All the villains begin chasing the heroes until the characters disband into different parts of the factory. The Emperor then asks if there are more pop culture icons who can defeat him, which triggers a response from the Fantabulous Quartet, not the Fantastic Four for legal reasons.
Of course. For legal reasons.
Yes. Consisting of Rubber Guy, Clear Chick, Rock Hard, and the Burning Sensation. The four attempt to defeat Darth Bogus. One by one, the superheroes fail in spectacular fashion, not catching up to Darth Bogus's immense strength and wit. The Burning Sensation has his nether regions frozen by a fire extinguisher. Rock Hard loses his arousal after thinking about Kathy Bates naked. Clear Chick is thrown through a brick wall, and Rubber Guy is stretched to his limit. There's a part of this show that I remember that I'm waiting to see how we get to it. Meanwhile, Mr. and Mrs. Smith continue to search for the heroes before Zorro and Elena de la Vega enter on a wooden horse stick.
Yes.
They introduce themselves along with plugging an ad for T-Mobile cellular phones before making out, prompting the assassin couple to bicker about not being like them. Before the fight commences, Peter Griffin interrupts by suggesting a dance-off instead. After initially refusing, Peter says that they have to dance or eat his jar of pickled pig testicles. With no other option, the rival couples begin to dance, with Zorro and Elena being the clear winners. Mr. Smith laments the loss by saying, "We should have eaten the testicles," as she and her husband hijack the phone booth. Peter then says, "And now back to our regularly scheduled violence." Scarecrow then arrives as everyone begins running again. Daisy then tells Uncle Jesse and Ted to shine a light so she can do shadow puppets to create a bat signal, which summons the one and only Batman. However, his entrance is not as heroic and graceful, and he falls down from his zipline. Causing further humiliation, Batman whines after Scarecrow pokes him in the eye. Only Uncle Jesse is able to defeat Scarecrow by blowing drug dust in his eyes. After getting back up, Batman confuses Jesse for Scarecrow and begins beating him up. He also punches Ted, who informs him that he's hurting the good guys. Batman then throws another tantrum and runs off stage in embarrassment. All right.
Okay.
Samara then appears, trying to attack the heroes, but Daisy attempts to make peace with her, thinking that she isn't evil, but needs a good scrubbing. Ted gets a wash tub as Daisy urges Samara to get undressed. Hillbilly music begins playing as Daisy further undresses and Samara starts doing a jig. Then she rips her torn white dress to reveal her naked body covered in green moss. Ted remarks, "It is what you see just before you die." Darth Bogus then catches up, urging Ted to eat the chocolate to become Darth Heinous. He follows by saying, "You're going to have to kill me first." Darth Bogus then aims his lightsaber, ready to kill Ted, while also making fun of Keanu Reeves' film career. The fight quickly proves anticlimactic as Ted kicks Bill in the groin, knocking the Sith out of him. Okay, here we go. So Bill and Ted think they've defeated Emperor Palpatine, but it's revealed that Lord Vader was resorted. What does that mean? Resorted by Willy Wonka. Unfortunately, he turned into the Burger King, much to Palpatine's horror. Enraged, Vader kicks Wonka in the groin. Soon after, the phone booth returns with a mysterious cloaked figure. It's revealed to be an angry Ronald McDonald, wanting to take over the fast food empire. The two begin fighting, only to be broken up by a Wendy with two pistols filled with mustard and ketchup.
That is incredible.
Seeing all the chaos that has been caused, Wonka decides to reform and join the heroes by betraying Palpatine. He knocks him out with his cane and presses the self-destruct button on the Easy Bake Oven. Palpatine surrenders, urging Bill and Ted to finish him off, but the duo refuse. Bill says, "All you gotta do is be excellent to one another." And Ted follows with, "And party on." The narrator says that it was on this day that the Emperor's heart grew 3 sizes. Palpatine then orders for a massive party as he undresses, showing his Star Wars themed boxers. The duo, however, had a different idea for the party and summoned musical artists to end the show with Britney Spears, Bobby Brown, Madonna, Missy Elliott, Billie Joe Armstrong of Green Day, and Axl Rose of Guns N' Roses closing the show with their respective musical numbers. The end.
Wow.
So yes, that was the Bill and Ted show.
Bow, 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 bow.
I remember loving that show. I'd never seen anything like it before.
That makes sense, unfortunately. There is nothing like it, and there will never be anything like it again. Just pure chaos.
And I feel like the humor is just aimed at a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. It's so goofy, but
yeah,
people love it, and that is what matters. Is that people loved it?
Yeah,
and it holds a special memory for a lot of people, and it's part of HHN history, and it's weird.
It sure is.
It's weird every year. Doesn't get weirder, or doesn't get less weird.
Yeah. And it, of course, as per usual, is full of jokes that you're like, oh, uh-oh.
Yeah. 2005,
I don't like that.
Even though it was only 20-ish years ago, it was a different time in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
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 Oh, my goodness.
Also, something that is not mentioned in this lineup of things is that because 2 of the houses were in sound stages, there was that cut through, which I forget what it was that the storylines called it in the houses that were in the sound stages, but it was on the other side of like,
oh yeah,
the whatever that thing was called that it said. Let me see.
So this one was only in Islands of Adventure.
The houses, the park was Islands of Adventure, but you would still cross over to the sound stages for houses. And because you were over there, they did have like that area immediately surrounding what's now the Music Plaza was open.
Right.
So like Mummy was open.
Oh, interesting.
Just like that one little bit of
the park.
The park was open. So
Yeah.
Maldakin Pass, I think, is basically the walkway from IOA to the sound stages. And so while you were over there in the Boneyard, which is now the Music Plaza, there was a chain link fence maze that didn't have characters in it. It was just a maze that you could go and walk through. But in the middle of the maze was a raised platform. And on that platform was Jack the Clown with a megaphone.
What?
And then on the outside of the maze were buttons that would spray water or air hoses at people who were in the maze.
Oh my gosh.
So you could like mess with people. And then like, yeah, you could basically do the Production Central and like all the way up to Mummy stuff for that side of the park.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So that's just another thing that I remember from that year that is not mentioned, because I don't know where you would even like put that in a list of.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Rat Run in the Boneyard is this experience. Yeah, you see that? It's a chain link fence maze.
Rat Run.
Rat Run. Rat Run was an outdoor chain link maze during Halloween Horror Nights Tales of Terror. Accessed through Maldakin Pass, it was located in Universal Studios and was hosted by Jack the Clown. One of my favorite things right now is describing something from my memory and then reading the page and reading what I just said.
Wait, where do you see
Jack the Clown
Run?
stood on a platform. It's in the list of attractions, so like the rides and stuff.
Oh. I see.
Experience. Jack the Clown stood on a platform cackling and insulting guests. Rat Run was also open in the Boneyard during Stay and Scream on all nights, though Jack was still on the platform. No characters were in the maze. People outside the maze could also press red buttons which spray the people in the maze with water or air, or change the doors within the maze. Oh, that's cool.
Whoa. Silly.
I remember doing this maze. And like you can see through the walls, obviously, because they're just chain link fences.
Yeah.
But it was fun and it wasn't scary. It was just like cool.
That's so fun.
Yeah. I would love for something like that to come back.
Oh, there's pictures of the Maldakin Pass too, which looks like it was back behind. Oh yeah, it's the same kind of walkway that they used this year, where you can see the backside of Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it looks so cool. Dang. Ugh. That's so fun.
Trivia. This was the last time the Boneyard was used for Halloween Horror Nights. A map says that the reward for completing this was a dining area. I don't think that's true. And a food sign themed to Hellgate Prison could be seen outside this attraction. Yeah.
Lore.
That was another thing.
HHN lore.
Maldakin Pass. That has its own page on the wiki.
Yeah,
Maldakin Pass.
That's where those pictures are.
Next year for Grinchmas, I can't wait to be like, oh, we're going through Maldakin Pass to the Grinch spectacular show.
Yes.
Maldakin seems to have served as a portal to the worst of evils in the North Hollow, the epicenter of primordial terror, where the Terror Queen subjects used as a testing ground for the pure of heart, and to where Jack held his maze.
Bum, bum, bum.
I think about Maldakin Pass all the time, and I think about where was that in all these times that we were able to pass back and forth between, especially like remember when they had the openings in COVID where you could pass through?
Yeah.
Every time I walked through those areas, I'm like, where was that for HHN my first year? Because I know we walked in between the parks, but I don't know where all that stuff was.
Right.
You know?
Huh.
But it's cool.
It is cool.
So anyway, that is Halloween Horror Nights 15.
We did it. Kenneth's first year.
And so far, my running house tally is 3, I believe.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be a fun
I
addition.
think so. First year, 3 houses. Yeah. I need to like write a note somewhere of how many houses. I feel like I've also done this in the app Log Ride. I've like, whenever I discovered Log Ride, I went through and I just like hit, you know,
all the way back?
every single thing I've ever done.
That's so cool.
I think so. So I think Log Ride does have a list, but I don't know if it can specify to just Halloween Horror Nights because it tells me how many haunted houses I've done.
Yeah.
But that's across everything. That's across Halloween Horror Nights, Hallow Scream, Sir Henry's Haunted Trail, Horror Unleashed. Like it does everything.
Yeah.
So,
I can make an Excel spreadsheet, a little thing on Sheets, and drop it
and
into our Google Drive.
Okay. Log Ride also does not include the little trash bag tunnel maze that my neighbors made in the neighborhood on one Halloween.
Darn, they should do that.
Or the haunted house that was built at the Amazon Village Mall, which is a former either Home Depot or Lowe's that closed down, and inside they put a quote-unquote mall, which is basically a bunch of small businesses setting up like vendor booths. And then in the outside, what used to be like the gardening section of the Home Depot or Lowe's, they built a skate park and a haunted house.
What? That's crazy.
And that might actually be the first haunted house I ever went in. Although I feel like I would have... Maybe I did... No, I did Halloween Horror Nights first. And then, because I had done that, I was like, well, this is just a little homemade one into the mall. That's not even a real mall. So this probably won't be very scary, and I probably felt brave enough to do that. So whatever my total number is on Log Ride, add 2.
Okay. Fair enough. Silly. Oh my goodness.
But anyway, I think that will do it for this episode. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you soon in the fog. Until next time, for more content, be sure to check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/RushOfFear and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at RushOfFearPod.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Happy season 6, episode 2. And we'll see you next time. Okay. Now it's time to get out. Bye.
Bye.